This video will give a brief introduction to foodborne illness. Every year, 1 in 6 Americans will suffer some form of foodborne illness as a result of consuming raw meats, spoiled foods, or raw produce. Aside from home preparation, these illnesses are also found in restaurants where staff members may have prepared food in an unsanitary manner or may have contracted the illness themselves. Produce purchased at farmers markets often has a higher risk of being contaminated, as many times these items come in contact with farm animals or have been treated with contaminated water. It is difficult to tell which foodborne illness you may be suffering from and how to treat it. There are over 250 pathogens or viruses that can cause foodborne illness. Here are 3 of the most common and where they are most often found. Escherichia coli bacteria, more commonly known as E. coli, are naturally occurring bacteria in the intestinal tract that aid in digestion. People with weakened immune systems, as well as those taking medication to control stomach acid, are at risk for E. coli because the body is less able to protect itself. E. coli is often transmitted through contaminated water or foods like undercooked beef or unpasteurized dairy. Minimize the risk of E. coli. Make sure to thoroughly wash all raw produce. Also, make sure to cook all beef products to 160 degrees Fahrenheit to kill any E. coli bacteria. Please clean and disinfect any areas where food is prepared before and after preparation. Many people with E. coli, the source can be difficult to pinpoint, as symptoms can begin anywhere from 1 to 10 days after initial contact. Symptoms include stomach cramps, vomiting, and diarrhea. These symptoms can last up to a week. Salmonella is a bacteria that causes an infection known as salmonellosis. Similar to E. coli, these bacteria are transmitted through undercooked chicken or other poultry and unpasteurized dairy products. Also, raw eggs and foods containing raw eggs may increase the risk of salmonella and should never be consumed raw. To avoid salmonella, make sure to prepare meats and produce on separate surfaces to avoid cross-contamination. Poultry items should be cooked to a temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit, and meats should be cooked to a temperature of 160 degrees Fahrenheit to kill salmonella bacteria. Please clean and disinfect any areas where food is prepared before and after preparation. Salmonellosis symptoms present anywhere from 12 to 72 hours after initial contact. Symptoms include abdominal cramps, diarrhea, and fever. These symptoms can last 4 to 7 days. Noroviruses are one of the most contagious forms of foodborne illness, and it is estimated that half of all foodborne illnesses are a result of norovirus. These viruses can be communicated via direct contact with someone infected or simply by touching a contaminated surface, and are especially prevalent in daycare centers and nursing homes due to the confined quarters. Another cause is contaminated water or foods prepared by someone who is contagious. Raw shellfish and produce are also 2 of the major sources of noroviruses, and please make sure these foods are washed and prepared properly to kill any viruses. Norovirus symptoms can take 12 to 48 hours to present and can include cramps, nausea, diarrhea, fever, and vomiting. This can be especially concerning for young children and older adults.